Okay, do yourself a favor. Try to refrain from any offensive comments while we're on the reservation.
Like?
I'm not giving you any ideas.
Saying kimosabi or how?
Yes, like that.
For your information, how is like the original what's up, as in how is it going? How is it hanging?
Well, if you want to keep it hanging, I suggest you keep it to yourself. Because the woman that we're meeting is the tribe's head counsel.
Head counsel meaning lawyer?
Correct.
I hate lawyers.
You hate a lot of things.
I like to think it's part of my endearing charm.
And I like to think I'm Heidi Klum.
I like to think you're Heidi Klum, too, with a big gun.
Really? You think so?
Not really.
Detective Benson and O'Malley? Chicago, please.
Jesse Turnbow. Pleasure. And tell me why you look so surprised.
I was expecting someone who,
Looks more like an Indian.
well, looks less like a baseball player.
We're playing the Braves tonight, and a number of us from the reservation are staging a peaceful protest against the tomahawk chop.
How exactly do you do that?
Well, if we catch anyone doing the chop, we scalp them. Actually, we just gently explain our position. If that doesn't work, we bribe them with hot dogs. So how can I help you?
We have questions about the grave robbing incident last Saturday.
Now, I'm the one who's surprised that anyone cares about what takes place on the res.
Well, you said in the police report that you thought the grave robbers were after a piece of jewelry that was buried with the corpse. But there's no details beyond that, so...
Because I wouldn't give them any. When people hear Native Americans talking about their ancestors performing ritual sacrifices, it just perpetuates stereotypes.
How about if we ask nicely?
The grave robbers were after the necklace of placation, which was part of a ritual that, as far as I'm concerned, was laid to rest with that body 130 years ago.
Well, do you have any details about the ritual?
At the time, there was a series of devastating fires, culminating the Chicago fire. In order to placate the fire god, members of the tribe sacrificed, murdered one of their own. Her body adorned with the necklace.
Did it work?
Supposedly. The fire stopped. But these legends are just that. Fairy tales. According to one of them, I'm a princess. Now, as much as I would love to talk to you about the ancient ways of the Red Man, I'm presenting a case to Supreme Court next week.
Do you have any idea who was behind the theft?
You might want to ask George Armstrong.
The billionaire balloon guy?
Between corporate raiding and flying around the world in a balloon, he's acquired every Clodo artifact they can get his greedy hands on.
Was he Native American?
Anything but. George Armstrong's ancestor was George Armstrong Custer. His collection is his way of trying to win a battle that his ancestors couldn't. But he wouldn't admit it if he had it. And he loves to sue.
So what do you think?
I think Jesse's gonna ask me to dinner before we close the case.
Oh, please. My bet is she goes for the sensitive type. And I'm not talking about someone who always makes sure to tip the stripper.
No, it may look like that on the outside, but what Jesse's really looking for is a bad boy.
And you know this because you're actually able to read minds and just haven't mentioned it before?
Trust me is all I'm saying.
$20 so she doesn't ask you out.
One, I can't believe a member of the sisterhood is betting on this, and two, you're on.
Well, now that we got that taken care of, what do you think of George Armstrong?
I have the same warm feelings for him I have for all useless, spoiled billionaires. I'm looking forward to killing this thing tonight, so I don't even have to think about him.
Just checking.
Status.
Nothing showing up on radar, sonar, or infrared.
I'm confirming with our backup units. Carl?
Yeah, I'm just fine. Aside from standing out here all alone acting as dragon bait.
Well, that's Dragon Slayer. Remember?
You know, it's been 2 hours. I mean, what makes you so sure this dragon's gonna show up?
Trust me, I'm the only meal in town.
And he's gonna be able to find you by scent, even in that suit?
Do you have to feed O'Malley such good straight lines?
Answer the question.
Yes. These things have nostrils the size of Michelin's. Speaking of which, I know a guy can get you a real deal on tires if you're interested.
Yeah, stolen tires.
I prefer to think of them as donated under suspicious circumstances.
Carl! The fact that we need your services is no excuse to flaunt your larcenous ways.
Then what am I doing out here? I feel like a baked potato.
You're maintaining radio silence until circumstances demand otherwise.
Fine. I meant to do that. I think circumstances demand otherwise.
We don't have anything on our monitors.
Well, why don't you come out here and say that?
Now, alarms would sound if there were anything on the sensors, but it could still be at too high an altitude.
It's coming, I'm telling you.
Are you ready to do what you did back then?
Well, to be honest with you, that's gonna be kind of difficult.
What does that mean? Did you kill that dragon or not?
Yes, but there's a little bit more to the story.
Yeah, we're listening.
I was just finishing this castle job. You know, the usual gold coins, crown jewels, illuminated manuscripts. Anyway, I was climbing down from the tower when all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, this dragon lands right in front of me on the roof and corners me.
Put a bow on it, Carl. What happened?
Well, it was raining, the roof was wet.
And?
The dragon slipped and impaled himself on a spire.
It was an accident?
I was the one that got him up on the slippery roof. I see it!
One specially outfitted mobile command vehicle, $172,000. Custom weaponry and ordnance, $211,000.
Watching Carl squirm in pain? Priceless.
And the list goes on. Destruction of 1 barn, 7 cows, 3 tractors, and 1 of my favorite hands. All because of one of your foolish, malicious lies. What have you got to say for yourself?
Oh, watch it! Those prawns are cold.
Damn it, Carl! The only thing we succeeded at is pissing this thing off further. After he finished kicking our butts, he went on to set 2 more devastating fires. How are we going to kill this thing?
Well, until we can find a weapon strong enough to kill it.
Or lure it to the top of a wet castle.
We're just gonna have to find the necklace they used to placate it back when it was last here.
Jesse Turnboat just notified us that the tribal police arrested a suspect in the grave robbery. No necklace, but they'll know where to find it.
Yeah, he wouldn't give him any information, so she agreed to have him transferred to our custody. See if we can get anything out of him.
But what are we waiting for?
That?
What is that, a vanity plate?